The U.S. Secretary of State has met the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for a second time in less than 12 hours in Jerusalem. The shuttle diplomacy is part of an effort to resuscitate talks between the Israelis and Palestinians. For more on the latest, Stephanie Dekker is live in Jerusalem for us. Any achievements yet, Steph?
Well, I think no is the answer to that. It's an ongoing process, and I think that visit by Secretary Kerry here, less than 15 hours he spent on the ground. It was unannounced. It was last minute. Goes to show exactly how difficult it is. It's all about a prisoner release, a last batch of prisoner release. These are pre-Oslo prisoners. This was agreed upon before they started this round of talking. Israel says it's holding on to them for the moment because 14 of them are Israeli Palestinians, and that's causing an issue here in Israel. Netanyahu has told the U.S. that this could cause his government to collapse if he releases them, but the Palestinians are being very clear. They're saying we're not talking about any extension of talks, and that deadline will come on the 29th of April, so very soon, unless these prisoners are released. We agreed to this 9 months ago. We're not negotiating on it. So this is something that Kerry now focusing on, trying to give Israel some kind of guarantees that it'll be okay to try and get this process moving forward and continuing into next year.
We're going to stay with this topic, but let you go. Thanks for that, Stephanie Dekker. And our sources close to the negotiations suggest that a US-born Israeli spy could be released early to help move the talks forward. Jonathan Pollard, a former US Navy intelligence analyst, was jailed for life in 1987 for passing classified documents to Israel. Israel disowned him, but Pollard was granted Israeli citizenship in 1995. And Benjamin Netanyahu has officially recognized him as an Israeli agent. He is due for parole in November 2015. Let's talk to Akiva, Eldar, columnist for almonitor.com, a Middle East news website. Thank you very much for joining us. Is this what it's all about? Is it about the peace talks and the concessions that the US might get from Israel?
I think the Pollard issue is more a political domestic issue, and perhaps you should put it in the context of the former prisoner exchange, Gilad Shalit, for around 1,000 Palestinian prisoners, and it is needed in order to show that Israel is not giving anything for free. There is a kind of a trade-off, and Jonathan Pollard is, if you like, the joker or the ace in this game between the Israelis, the Palestinians, and the US. It's the most important bargaining chip that the Americans have been holding for many years.
Why do you think he is that important? Why is he such a strong bargaining chip?
First of all, because he's perceived in Israel as a hero, a Jewish hero, somebody who was willing to sacrifice his life, his freedom, his health. You know, he's been in jail for 27 years. He's very sick. And in the Jewish ethos and the Jewish tradition, releasing prisoners, bringing prisoners back home is like the 11th command. And for Bibi Netanyahu to shake Pollard's hands when he comes out of Israeli Air Force One, this is for him a political gain because he needs to soften the images of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners, and as was mentioned before, including Israeli citizens that are released as part of a deal with the Palestinian Authority, which in a way is undermining the Israeli sovereignty. So he needs something big in the public. I mean, Pollard is not important for Israel's security. He's not a strategic asset. But, it's everything about television, about PR, and about politics. So it will be more difficult for the opponents of the deal from the right, the victims of terror, to oppose it, because bringing a Jew back home to Israel, probably he will go to Israel, he'll move to Israel. He's American, but he changed his name from Jonathan to Yonatan to become an Israeli. I think this will make it much easier for Netanyahu to do this. And I think that the Americans, actually he tried to do this, Netanyahu, in the 70s, in the 90s, in 97, when he negotiated with President Clinton in Y plantation, he was also trying to get Pollard back in order to make it easier for him to make concessions.
Okay, let's leave it there. Always good to get your knowledge. Akiva, Eldar, thank you.